everyone. Welcome to Mondays with Meg. I have such a special guest on with me this morning that I cannot wait for you to get to know. And some of you probably already know her. Some of her friends and fans are probably already on with us. But this is my dear friend, Dannielle Alphonse. And we met probably about a year ago online, Insta friends, guys. And I can't speak for her, but I will say her message so resonated with me. And I feel like we even instantly became these virtual soul sisters. And we just kind of kept up with each other throughout this past year. And I really think that you're going to love her message. I'm super excited to have this conversation with her. So she actually lives in Chicago. So we're coming to you from the Midwest today, for sure, with me in St. Louis. And she has this awesome website I would love for you guys to check out. I'm going to put the link on here. It's called Be You and Thrive. I've actually put a guest blog post in there last year too, which was a lot of fun. You. That was a good time. Yeah. And then she also has this fabulous podcast, you guys, that you are going to need to check out called The Practice of Living as We Intend. It totally rejuvenates me. I hope you get a chance to listen. I'm also going to put that link on here.
Thank you.
But absolutely. So I know that you love to be called Dee, and so we're going to probably do that.
Good.
And some other things I feel like you need to know about her, you guys, is she has the most beautiful dog, Sophia, right?
Yeah.
I love Sophia. I feel like I already cuddle with her virtually. And she also loves to travel with her husband. So you need to start following all of her stuff because the pictures and the adventures they have are amazing. And she also loves working out, being very physically fit, active, all these awesome things. But I think above all those things, besides the dog and the husband, I think her big passion is really helping women live their very best lives. And hey, that's my jam too. So this should be a super encouraging time together. So Dee, welcome, and thank you for having this time with us this morning.
Thank you. It's a joy to be here, and I'll share with everyone online.
Yeah.
This is my first live.
Oh, how exciting! I'm glad we got it working. Jeez.
Oh my God, yeah. Thanks for that, Meg. It's been a great experience.
Oh my God. At least we're still smiling. That's good.
We are.
Well, yeah, go ahead. Were you going to say something?
Well, yeah, if I can dive in, I'd love to, because I want to be efficient with my time.
Yes, let's do it.
I want to be efficient with everyone's time here. So
absolutely.
Some of the things that you shared about me, not the things that I've done or that I have, although I'm super grateful to have Be You and Thrive and to be able to share my message on the Practice of Living as We Intend podcast. It's dear to my heart. The reason that I began Be You and Thrive was because I truly wanted to begin living in the fullness and the uniqueness of who I am. And I realized that I could do that. And so I began Be You and Thrive really to share that message with not only myself, but to people like you, to those that are listening on the live right now, to allow you to realize that you too can live in the fullness of who you are right now, not 10 years from now, not 20 years from now. There's nothing to wait for.
We don't have time for that.
Well, we don't, and that's
we need to have that urgency.
Yes. And so today you had asked me, what do you want to talk about, Dee? And I was skimming through my podcast and things and thought, the real heart of my message is realizing that I am complete as I am right now. And how did I realize that? And what does that mean? How does that help me live today in my fullness? And so those are the types of things that I want to share. And I'm going to keep looking to my right here because I want to also stay present with the crew on the live session right now. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And as we have some questions come up, so you guys ask whatever questions you want. I will be able to put those up on the screen so it'll be easier for all of us to see too. So definitely, if you guys have any questions as we go, just like always, go ahead and ask them and I'll get them up on the screen. Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah, so why don't we go ahead and start?
Yeah, I was just going to start by saying that I live decades, Meg, 2 decades plus, 20 plus years of my life, waiting for this woman that I desired so intently to just arrive. I was waiting for her to show up. And I don't know if any of you who are watching or if you can resonate with this, Meg, but I was defining what I'm calling my I am today by my accomplishments, by my job, by my job title, by how I was climbing the corporate ladder. I was defining who I was. And if you can resonate with this and you're listening, go ahead and comment if you can, or give us some likes and such, because this is a journey that we're taking together.
Yeah.
I realize through Be and Thrive, as I share on the podcast, that as I share these things, I'm not the only one who feels this way.
Yeah.
Many of you can resonate in your own unique way. But I was continually trying to, it was like, well, when I get married, I'll feel the way I want to feel about myself.
Sure. There's always the next thing, right?
There's always the next thing. And here I got married and then I was going through a divorce. Well, when I go through that divorce, then I'm going to feel that healing that I needed. I'm going to feel that, I'm going to get to that pure and untouched heart. And that girl never showed up.
Yeah.
And so I began to realize that in order to become the woman that I intend to be, in order to become the woman that I desire to be, I have to know the woman that I am right now.
Absolutely.
And so this is what this is all about today, is discovering our I am. I don't know who has had a baby? Give me a like or love. Who's birthed children? There's lots of loves.
I mean, do you have to birth them, or can you just have them show up?
So that's
because I kind of had 5 show up.
Do you have 5? I have 1.
Ah,
that's awesome.
But they weren't babies. They weren't babies when they showed up.
How about this question? Has anyone held a brand new baby?
Oh yeah.
Has anyone done that? What about that sacredness when you have that thing in your hand, like, this human living thing, and who does this? Who talks to these babies in strange ways? Like, oh my goodness, you change your voice, right? You're maybe.
I think this works for puppies too, right?
It does.
If you're not a baby person, it probably works for puppies.
And I don't know why we do this. I don't know if anyone can explain why. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to explain this.
Okay, I'm with you. Yeah.
When we are holding that infant, when we are holding that little thing, we see its untouched heart. We see that it has no harm done to it. We see there are no scars. We see this thing that has no world experience.
Yeah.
And it's pure and it's innocent and it is sacred. And I think maybe we don't have words for it. I don't know. That's maybe what I'm thinking.
I mean, I'm on board with that for sure. Yeah.
And the idea behind this analogy is that you and we were once that baby. We were once that pure and untouched heart. And what I discovered is, Meg, through my experiences, through the tough stuff, through the really difficult things that maybe only God and I know, things that you could think about, or you that are listening in, that have been your lowest of lows. And those things, they cover that pure and untouched heart. It's like they become these layers, if you will, these layers that when I look at myself in the mirror, or used to look at myself in the mirror, person that was looking at me, she was blurred. I couldn't see her truth within.
Sure.
I couldn't see that raw, real, untouched heart because of all of these experiences that I had that was masking that. And so a
Right.
part of this first part of defining our I am,
Mm-hmm.
it's all about pulling back those layers. It's all about taking inventory and
Right.
asking ourselves questions to ourselves.
Yeah.
Who is it that I am? What are my strengths? You might ask
Mm-hmm.
yourself. And if you have a piece of paper or a pen, grab it.
Yeah.
You can take some notes here. How do we become all that we are intended? It's
Right.
discovering our true I am right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And feel free to interject, Meg, because I'll just keep
Well,
yapping.
sure. And what I would love to add to that is the fact that even those things about you, even those I am things about you that might drive you crazy, because I think we all have those are important. And it's
Absolutely.
important to embrace those things as much as you embrace your strengths, because there's a
Yes.
reason why you are those
Mm.
ways, even if they drive you crazy. I feel like the goal is to get to the point where they don't drive you crazy. You're just like, it's just me,
Yes.
and it's okay. You're supposed
Yes.
to be that way.
I love that you
Whatever.
used that word
Yeah.
reason.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
let me just like draw on that, because
Sure.
the woman I was then versus the woman I am now, okay? Now that I've discovered this I am, now that I can
Yeah.
define her, now that I have
Mm-hmm.
found her and I'm not searching for her,
Yeah.
she now realizes that she has unique gifts, that she
Yes.
has unique talents, and there is a reason for that. They are not
Mm-hmm.
You do not have a specific gift for because there's not a reason for it. Let me re-say
Right.
that. There is no coincidence, is what I'm
Yes.
looking for, in the
Mm-hmm.
gifts that you have,
Right.
because we're to live in the fullness of our gifts. We're to share those gifts. That is a part of living in the uniqueness and the fullness of who we are. And so I love that you mentioned that. And discovering our I am is not only discovering our strengths, but it's
Yeah.
discovering our weaknesses.
Sure.
It,
Challenges, I like to call them.
it's discovering our challenges. It's I got a whole lot of them
I
challenges,
mean,
girl.
well, it just makes me think about Dee, like, I have this hair driving me crazy. I'm
That's
sorry. Anyway,
okay.
getting my hair cut in a couple
I
days.
think I teased my hair too high today. I was looking.
Oh, you
It
look
was
great.
early this morning.
Oh my goodness. It is early.
Go
Yes.
ahead.
But so when you were saying that, I was thinking, I remember there was a time in my life in the not too distant past where, there's this thing about me, right? Just innately who I am, where I'm like a super feeler. And I don't know if anyone else on is the same way. If so, give me some hearts. Like, I feel things so, so deeply. And
I'm gonna heart that.
it used to drive me crazy, guys, because while it's great when it's a happy feeling, right? When it isn't, when it's sadness, when it's hurt, when it's anger, when it's depression, when it's frustration, it's just as strong, because I'm that's like my superpower, right? And I used to get so mad about it. I'm just like, why was I made this way? Because it was hard to deal with.
Sure.
And then I realized, because I'm that way, I feel empathy so strongly that I'm able to connect with people no matter what the emotion is, in a way other people can't. And especially as a life coach, that's invaluable. And building community and just building relationship, authentic, deep relationship. And once I had that like epiphany, that I'm just like, no, it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay that even when I feel so deeply the negative stuff, I still can try to use the positive to even it out, and kind of how to like harness my superpower.
Yeah.
Kind of thing,
it's like
to embrace that. Yeah.
Like your pain is your purpose. Your challenges give you this ability to give to others in a way that only you can.
Sure.
I love that you mentioned empathy specifically, because that is wholeheartedly how another way that I would describe your gifts and your abilities to authentically connect with women.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
really beautiful. And so I guess just to kind of close that idea of defining
let's do it.
our I am, I would suggest that each of you that are listening would begin to take the time to ask yourself these important questions. Why, what relates to Meg, why do I feel the way I feel?
Right.
And Meg mentioned she's empathetic or really feels deeply. Well, why do I feel that way? And how can I use that for my greater good? Yeah. Why is that unique thing stirring in me, and how can I interpret it differently and serve it up to the world? Because you
Great
can.
question.
What am I naturally good at? Yeah. Because there is a reason. This is not a coincidence that I am naturally good at this. This is my gift. This is what I can serve to the world and grow in. And then start looking for ways to use it. All of these things are so incredible. And as I want to go into the next thing, which is...
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, this is so fun.
I love it.
Which is aligning our I am. And so this is what's so cool about aligning our I am is once you can define who you are, once you can, and P.S., this is a process, right?
Yes.
Once we begin to understand who we uniquely are, we can use this idea of aligning our choices, our decisions, our strengths, our gifts, our weaknesses with all those definitions. And so let me give you, I love analogies. Sure. So I pre-apologize to those who don't. Aligning.
There are people, it's fine.
I'm a creative, I'm a visualist. Aligning is like lining up, right? It's agreeing. When I think of aligning, I think about, I used to go to my mom's house in Ohio, and she always had a puzzle out on a table. And it was like, when I was that young, it looked like it was like a 10,000 piece puzzle. I don't know how big it was. I'm bad at puzzles.
Yeah. Okay.
But forever she was doing these puzzles. And when I think about aligning in that idea and with that visual, consider your I am and how you define it as this big, massive puzzle. And consider the pieces of the puzzle, the pieces of your life that you're trying to find. Well, what does fit with my strength? What do I need in my life that's going to connect and align and agree with who I am? We think about, maybe someone can resonate. Give me a like or love if you can, or a comment. Has anyone been in a relationship and when it's over, you go, what the heck was I thinking? Any likes there? Because that thing perhaps didn't align with who we are. It didn't align with what we needed in that season in our life. Perhaps it created these habits, perhaps it strengthened habits that we didn't need to continue with in our life. And so this process of aligning that I'm explaining is this beautiful process that we can use as a tool to begin to make choices, to begin to decide, well, what is it? How do I want to move forward in my life? When an opportunity comes your way, you can take that opportunity as a puzzle piece and you can say, does this make sense with who I truly am? Does this make sense with who I desire to become? Yeah. What do you think about that, Meg?
Oh my gosh. Absolutely, 1,000%. That's where the magic happens. When we take our, all the stuff that makes up our insides, right? Like our values, our internal motivators, our passions, our, all that stuff inside us, our experiences, uniquely, that are ours and everything. When we take those and we align that with how we're walking our life out, that is truly when we're walking in our purpose, and when we feel good, when we're constantly, we have this joy no matter what the circumstance, no matter what's being thrown at us. Yes. And it's when you walk into a room and people are like, there's something different about her, like, because it's like you radiate it, and it's just so beautiful. And I don't know about you, Dee, but I want that for everyone, like everyone in this world. And I love the fact that for everyone, it's completely different because we are all so unique.
Well, and that's why I share this message wholeheartedly today.
Absolutely.
Is because the world, the community, the people that you're surrounding, they need what you have to offer. Yeah. They need your uniqueness. This world needs your gifts. They need your voice. And only you can accentuate that. Only you can peel back the layers and find that true, strengthened, beautiful voice within. I want to just highlight this one thing before we move on, which is I and many women, I believe, are searching for what to do next, are searching for how to use their gifts, are searching for, and especially in this day and age with the opportunities that this generation gives us. I mean, are you not blown away? Give me a like or comment or a thought, Meg, and I'm asking you too, are you not blown away by this generation and how we can truly be anything we want?
For sure.
The technology that we're given, even though it really stunk for us this morning, the technology that we're giving to connect with people like this, we're connecting with women all over the world right now through a video, to the ability that we have to share our message, to be whomever we desire. It's like never before. And so we can ask ourselves, well, what do I do with this? What do once I figure out what I'm really good at, what I'm naturally great at, what my gifts are, when I ask myself, well, Dee, what are my passions? What do I love to do? What pulls at my heartstrings? What do I do with all that? I have a great mentor that recently said to me, what is in your hand right now? And I thought, well, what does that mean? And he said, instead of looking, instead of searching for that big thing, instead of searching for what am I going to do in 5 years and breaking it down, which is so deep, by the way, who's in your community right now?
Yeah.
What does your friend need?
Right. Well, and I think that's a really good point because, just like all those things you said, all those opportunities, all the things technology is affording us, all those things right now make it like beautiful where the sky's the limit. It also makes things really overwhelming.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like, and I feel like we get, it's easy to get stuck in so I can do anything. So, what do I do? Yeah. And I think that's a great way to discern that is like, and it's great to have big vision, but until you are comfortable with being present right where you are and living in that magic right where you are, you're not going to get to that next thing. And so I love this idea of looking at what's in your sphere right now, just organically,
what's
naturally.
in my hand? Who needs what I have? How can I use my gift, for instance, right now? Yeah. I'm using my gift of sharing with you on live. Well, is that massive? Well, yes.
I mean, kind of.
Here's the thing. As you and I as you who are listening, begin to use your gifts, begin to push the button a little and get a little uncomfortable and start using the things that are unique about you right now, it's gonna unfold. So what am I thinking of? Like, I don't know, it's like this forever long towel. It's gonna unfold and unfold, and these opportunities are going to continue to come your way, and you're going to be able to continue to give and give and give and live in your fullness. I love that. I love that visual, that thought. And we might be running out of time, so should I move on?
Yeah, let's move on. Let's go, girl.
Okay. Yeah. And this last point is somewhat short, but it's so important, especially in this speed hustle environment that we're in, that refining our I am is a process, and it takes time, and it takes this sifting, if you will. It takes, when I think about the mentors in my life, when I think about leaders that I look up to, when I think about people who have gone before, it's not this constant movement of this. It's not this constant physical movement, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movement within that we keep stirring and we keep refining and we keep sifting and we keep learning and we keep finding new resources to fill our well, right? We fill, I call that well, I fill my skill well for my gifts so that I can grow them, but then I also fill this spiritual well. I fill my heart and my mind so that I continue to grow as a person. And so as you begin to think about, how do I define myself? How do I start pulling back the layers? How do I get to that pure and untouched heart? And then how do I begin aligning all these choices in my life? How do I figure out, well, what relationships do fit with me right now? Or what doesn't serve me anymore?
Yeah.
These things take a sifting process. This refining, it takes time. And so, gosh, give yourself grace.
Yeah.
Give yourself the time just to continue to grow your curiosity about who you are, who you uniquely are. Begin to take your time to discover and uncover all these beautiful layers. I think about my champions. Who's championed you to become the woman you are today, Meg?
Right.
Who has
Oh my
taught
gosh.
you?
How much time do we have?
Who has taught you to love? Who has taught you to be loved? Who has taught you about trust? Who has taught you about respect? Who told you about your source?
Yeah.
I mean, we could go on and on and on.
Right.
Ask yourself those questions. That's a great foundation, right?
Absolutely. And I feel like it's important to mention that you have to give yourself enough space presently to do this.
Yeah.
So like you need to cut some things out so you even have enough time to do this.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
And enough space. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I mean, we're always, like you mentioned, hustle and bustle and whatever. But I would even argue that if you create the space now, take the time now, that's going to make it so your hustle and bustle is going to be so much more powerful.
You're going to be on the right trajectory, right?
You got it. You're not going to be wasting anything. Yes. Yes.
And so I'm going to ask you, how do you do that? What do you do, Meg, to take time to what we're doing about today, defining and aligning your I am? How do you take time to get to know who Meg is?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's probably about 1 million ways I do that. But the first thing is cutting stuff out that isn't for this season. So like maybe I'm looking at how I'm spending and this is like super practical, guys. Okay. Like I look at how I'm spending my time, my money, my talent right now, today. Is any of it stuff that I'm doing that I used to do that I've just continued doing even though it isn't time anymore? Or am I doing things too far ahead that it's not time for yet, that I need to cut out? And that's a really great way to just so organically, naturally, easy, create some space in the right now. Or maybe I need to delegate some stuff. Maybe I'm doing things that someone else is supposed to be doing, not me. You know?
I love that.
So that's where I would start. And then it really begins with self-care and just taking the time to reflect, being intentional about whatever time you have. Maybe it's a half hour each day. Ink that in like you ink in eating dinner with your family. You know what I mean? Like it's that important. If you're really going to do this process, it has got to be a priority, and something else might need to give a little bit for that to happen in this season.
And for me, it's been that commitment equals dedication. It equals consistency and routine. And girls, I have to, I mean, we're being raw and open right now.
Yes.
There was so many decades of my life. I use that term and I don't use it loosely because it's the truth, where I just woke up and I was on autopilot and I just did my thing. Whatever came my way, I reacted and I moved and I went to work and I ate and I drove here and there and saw friends and socialized and whatever was on my agenda that day. Whatever I did. There wasn't a lot of intentional thought to it. And that word intentional is tossed around, but it's a beautiful word that we should really consider using in our life and begin to intentionalize our time. I wake up now, Meg, and my husband can completely, if he were here, he's probably laughing. He's in Germany right now. So baby, if you're watching this, I know you're going to laugh. And would you believe just now he called and I had to press the decline button?
Oh my gosh. That's a riot.
Isn't that a riot?
Your ears burning. Yes.
Every morning, Meg, I go into what I call my woman's cave. It's this red room where our bookshelves and TV is, and I close the doors even so Miss Sophia can't in. And I put my yoga mat down, and I have my stack of journals because there's one for like specific things, my books. And I do what's called P&P. I do my pages and I do my prayers. And I have got to have that foundation every morning before I can move forward. And that allows me to go forward in the way that I know is right for my unique self. Perfect. And so I share that in hopes that perhaps you will find, who are listening, a new routine if you don't have one, or you will try something intentionally to begin your days and begin growing. That's what we hope for you.
Yeah, for sure. So, oh my gosh, we got through it, Dee.
We did. What a joy.
We did it. And we had all these beautiful ladies along with us.
So cool.
And oh my gosh, so cool. And I have to tell you guys, I'm so excited to let you know that even if you're like me and you like took notes during this time because Dee's like so amazing and everything, she actually created a free download for you to help you sift through this process that we just talked about. It looks a whole lot like that. I hope you can see it. I don't know. I was covering my face. I couldn't tell. I think you could. Anyway, I promise you that is going to be up on my blog a little bit later today for you to download for free and work through this. And as you do, like, let us know how it's going. We want to know. Go ahead and send, either make more comments on this video, send us emails. There's going to be all sorts of ways you can contact us. But I know I want to hear about it. What about you?
I do too. I so do. And I want to end with this little quote that's on the top of that download that you just raised. And it says, it's by the Journal of Thomas Wharton. And it says, finally, I am coming to the conclusion that my highest ambition is to be what I already am. Like, how powerful is that? And that is what I desire for myself. That is what I desire for you, Meg. And that is what I desire for you who are listening today. Thank you for your time. What a joy. What a gift.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I need to let you all know real quick before we sign off that, I do this like every Monday morning at this time, every week. But next week, I'm not going to be doing it because I'm going on vacation.
Oh, it's your birthday weekend.
Yeah. So I'm going to be, I'm so excited, you guys. Thank you. Hubs has taken me on a cruise. And so I can't even pretend that I'm going to come on and join you next morning. It's not happening, but I will be back the next Monday and it's going to be great. So be on the lookout for that new event for the Monday after this Monday. And enjoy my birthday weekend.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to hear all about it.
I cannot wait. And so be on the lookout. A little later today, I'm going to add to this video the link to the blog post where you can get that free download. And also the ways that you can connect with Dee all over the place. Start reading her blog, start listening to her podcast. And I just want to thank all of you for taking this time with us this morning. It has been a pleasure. Oh my gosh. Cool. And Dee, thanks for joining me. Can you come on again? Is that okay?
Oh my land. Are you kidding? I would come every week if you let me.
Oh my gosh. It would be so much fun. Yes. Good.
Thank you guys. From from my whole heart to yours. Mwah. Be you and thrive. Take care.
Have a great week, ladies. Bye.
Bye-bye.